Here I have downloaded our both files, the template file and database file. In this I am using version number 1.2 of our template Due Notifier, and it is compatible with version 1.1, database version of 11. This is the downloaded folder. So let us take these both files from here to some of our desired location. For time being, using it, I will create a folder here in desktop, name it as demo. I will paste our both files here into the demo folder. It is not mandatory that these both files together or to be in desktop. It can be anywhere in your system, okay? And also this database file can be in one folder in one location, and the template can be in another folder or location. In the settings we will link it together. Doesn't make any difference that it is lying in a isolated folder or different location. It can be as you like, but for this demo I will save it in the desktop, both files together. So let us start. I'm opening the template, double clicking on it. When you're opening this template file for the first time, it is possible that you can see such a security warning. Okay, if you see such a security warning, just click on enable content button. So possible that you can see this kind of a small window again. If you see that, click on yes. Okay, this helps to run the macro within this file. If we don't enable the content, the macro of this file will not run. So our template is open. Let us start with configuring the settings. That is our first step to use this template. I'm using Office 365, so I'm just switching off the autosave option. Okay, so let's go to the settings. This is the settings window. We have to configure all these things so that we can seamlessly work with the template. So the first tab is intervals, second is database, then mail template, then it comes schedule, and finally logs. So let's start with intervals. So what are these intervals? It is nothing but number of days before or after the due date to notify the customer or client about the payment due. Okay, so it can be positive or negative integer numbers. So let's try it. I'm entering -30. Okay, and click on add. So the intervals will be added. See, what does this means? -30 means it will notify the client 30 days before the due date. Similarly, we can enter -10. So this will notify the client 10 days before the due date. So similarly, we can notify after the due date. This is a positive number 20 and 30. Okay, this 20 means it will notify the client 20 days after the due date. So this 30 means it will notify the client 30 days after the due date. That's what the intervals are. And here are few buttons with which you can manage this data. If you click on this one, select all. So all the intervals are selected. This is for deselecting all. all the intervals are deselected. And here it comes delete. By clicking on this, the selected interval will be deleted. -10 is selected now, and click on delete, so that is deleted, that is gone. Let us select all 30, 20, 30 and click on delete. It is clear. Okay, so let us enter again. And it is not mandatory that we have to enter one by one. Okay, if we want to enter one by one, we can do that. Otherwise, we can also separate it, enter it with comma. Okay, let me delete it like this: -10, 30, 60, 90. So we have to notify the client 10 days before the due date, then 30 days after the due date, then 60 days after the due date, and finally 90 days after the due date. So all these values are separated with comma, and click on add. Everything is added perfectly. So once the intervals are added, you must click on apply. Okay, and this save button, this is for all the settings. So if we have to do some other settings, save can be done at the end of all the changes in the settings window. So let us jump on to next setting, that is what? Database. Here we have to connect the database. So now we have saved our database in the similar folder, same folder where we have kept our template also, in the desktop demo folder. So if you want to keep the database somewhere else, some other location, you can do it and use this option to link it both. Okay, selecting the database file, we got the address over here and click apply. By clicking on apply, it will check is it possible to connect to the database or not, and if it is possible, it will give us the message that successfully connected to database. Just click on OK to hide this small window, confirmation window. Now we are connected to the database. Okay, next let us jump on to our next setting, which is nothing but mail template. This is all about the mail. You can customize all this data to the way you want. Okay, now here there is one checkbox which is for send mails automatically. Okay, and it in the bracket it gives the message that your notification mails will be sent automatically to the client. So what we are going to do now is the testing. So I just don't want it to send it automatically. Let the mail be prepared. That's all. So I am just deselecting it and click apply. This apply button is separate, particular to the individual pages of these settings. Okay, this apply button is for this database page. This is for intervals. So whenever you are changing any changes in that settings, you click on the apply button of that page. Otherwise it will not be taken for the acceptance. Then we have got schedule. So we can schedule this template to open up in a particular time, and it will check for the notifications. If there are any notification mails to be sent to the client, it will automatically send. Okay, so we can set a time. We can click on this one and change the time to which time we are comfortable. Ideally it should be a time that where our system is not too busy. So if it is in an office, maybe while you are coming into office in the morning by 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, whatever the time is. Immediately by that time, you might be busy and your system might be busy. So let us push the time little ahead, like 11 o'clock in the morning. So expecting that that time will be comfortable for you as well as the system to handle the work. Okay, this schedule we will come to it later. So we will do the data entry and all initially, and after that we will come back to it. See, when we are scheduling the notification process, automatically at that time our template will be opened. It will check the data for any notification has to be sent, and if any data is to be sent to the client, it will automatically send. So all these process will be having a log. We can manually initiate this notification process by clicking on this notify button. But when you are clicking manually on the notify button, or you are manually opening the template, Due Notifier template, in a day before the scheduled time, once you are opening the template in a day for the first time, or while you click on this notify button, it is triggered manually. The notification, due notification process is triggered manually, so that the notification process logs will be displayed in a window similar to this. I will show you that later. But if the automated notification process is initiated by the system, after the notification process, this template will be closed down. Okay, so the logs cannot be opened in a window like this. So that time it will be saved as a text file in a desired location, what we are providing here. Okay, now for this demonstration, I am using the same location where our files are kept. Okay, first of all, if we don't need the log, we can opt out it here. So in this scenario, the checkbox is not checked, so logs will not be created. But if you wanted to create the log, you have to have this check mark in this checkbox and select that location, the desktop, and demo folder is chosen. Okay, so the logs will be saved to this folder, demo folder. Okay, and that's for automated notification process. If it is initiated manually, it will be having a window similar to this, will show the logs. Okay, so click on apply, and we have done all the settings. So I am clicking on save button. Okay, so our settings are completed.